Captain's log, stardate 3487.B-21849. This was an awesome movie. It was an awesome movie. I'm writing in my diary as Admiral Joe here. I'm gonna be right off the bat. I'm gonna say I thought that this one would suck. I really did. I saw the trailer and I looked at the trailer and I was like, what the fuck is this? I want to see Strange New Worlds. I want to go on the 5-year mission. They've been teasing us with that forever. And I want it on the fucking ship. I don't want to see the ship explode and then them get stranded on a planet. It feels like a lame excuse to you know, have less money involved in the movie and make it smaller, is what I thought. Now, having seen the film, holy shit, this is a really awesome blockbuster. They didn't skimp out on the action. They did not skimp. The fact that the Enterprise explodes is kind of original, though this is the 13th film, so the Enterprise has blown up before.
It's blown up a good amount of times.
But it blows up in a very interesting way here, and you see it in the trailer. The particular conflict of this film is there's this race that can control swarming types of fighters, and you know the Enterprise does its best, firing its lasers. You
can't just pinpoint at one. It's like going. It's so chaotic.
It was so creative.
Swarm mentality.
Like the whole movie was so creative. The way the Enterprise is destroyed was creative. The camera work in this film was so creative. The action was ramped up. So this is the first time the new Star Trek franchise, the Rebooted series, has been handed over to a different director, Justin Lin, who was recently did the Fast and the Furious films. And I was a little worried about J.J. Abrams going over to Justin Lin, and honestly, he picked it up wonderfully.
He did well.
And in fact, I like this film a little bit better than Into Darkness. If I remember Into Darkness like fully and correctly, you know, I'm starting to forget some of it, which is kind of a bad thing for Into Darkness, but I really enjoyed this film. What did you think?
I liked it the least out of three of the movies, or all three movies, but that's not like insulting it at all. It's still a really good movie. It was only slightly under the second one in my opinion.
What was your problem with it?
Not enough space stuff, and honestly,
you
like,
wanted to stay
the
in
villain.
space.
The villain honestly was a little weak in this movie, but
Yeah, so the villain here is played by Idris Elba, and I didn't even fucking know it was Idris Elba the whole
neither
time.
did I. I had no idea.
Because he was under so much makeup. I didn't like the design of the enemies.
No, I didn't.
But you know, they're trying to be creative, and so they look like these scaly reptilian blue guys. But I would have liked something a little bit more sinister, but I like the way they talk. They spoke in broken English, and there's a reason for that that's revealed. No spoilers here, but this sort of broken English that they've learned the language reminded me of the film Enemy Mine. If anybody ever,
Never
these guys
saw
are not. You've seen Enemy Mine, but it was really cool. And Idris Elba, though, like Joe said, he's a badass.
He's a badass, whatever he does.
He has like this.
He's very talented.
This presence to him that, you know, this fool is dangerous. But like Del said, the reason why he's a little weak is because
really weak.
you're just unsure of his motivation the whole time. Like, yeah, he's one of those standard bad guys. I just want to kill, and I want to kill all the Federation, or the Frontier's gonna push back. It's like, why? Now there is an explanation for this villain. His name is Krull, and it's in the third act, and it's sort of a plot twist. But even with the reveal, how'd you feel?
He was still he was a weak bad guy pretty much the entire time, and honestly, like, his motivations were weak, just weak in general, and honestly, like, he wasn't that scary looking. Like, he didn't give that whole fear thing to me, like Khan or any of the other bad guys that you had in previous Star Trek movies.
His chest pecs and stuff.
His chest pecs, yeah. I was terrified of those pecs.
But I just thought that it was really well done. It was character-based. They really put a lot of time and effort into the characters, and part of the reason why I think this film works so well is because Simon Pegg is a true fan of Star Trek. He understands Star Trek. I think this is something like the 50th anniversary of Star Trek, and it really pays homage in the nicest ways to the original cast of the original Star Trek television series all those years ago with Kirk. And you even get to see the two universes merge. Though you saw that, obviously, and Leonard Nimoy had played Spock in the previous ones and had recently passed away. And they pay homage to him in this film because the ambassador also in this universe passes away. And so they have this nice touching moment where the Spock of this particular universe is going through the older Spock's, memoirs. And, personal effects, and he sees, a picture of the old crew, and it's just really cool. It was really awesome. And
a lot of respect.
A lot of respect. They did a dedication, of course, to Chekhov's character, Anton, who unfortunately passed away in an accident last month, which really, really sucks because he's brought so much life and fun to the Chekhov character.
I love that character.
I love Chekhov character. It's going to be really shitty to not have him in the future films, but what this film has done that I didn't think it would do is it made me excited again about this specific rebooted franchise. I didn't get my 5-year mission. You got a little bit at the beginning, right? You got to see and they were even poking fun at life is starting to feel episodic. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they had gone, I think, 2 years of their 5-year mission,
I think
maybe.
it was two and a half.
And and then this. They visit the most technologically advanced starbase in the Federation. And they get a distress signal, and a survivor of a crew that was stranded in this planet. She says, "Come help me," and then that's what drives the story along, and you get in the conflict. But it really, in my opinion, it reinvigorated me for Star Trek. I want another one. I want Star Trek 4. This is the 13th, so the next one would be 14.
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
I thought it was just going to be land-based and boring the entire time. Because when you think of Star Trek, you think of spaceships and exploration and laser fights and phaser fights and all this.
But it had all that shit.
It did. It had it. And it did.
And yes, the Enterprise crashed, and they're not on the Enterprise, but they kind of still are because the wreckage. They go to the wreckage. They use the wreckage to basically scan in a wider area for the crew that basically landed via escape pods on the planet. And bad guys show up on the Enterprise again, and it's just really cool. I'd have to say some of the most impressive camera work I've seen in any Star Trek film to date. No, this is the best camera work and action. You've got, gravity going this way and that way in several different scenes. You've got wreckage. I just love, I don't know what it is. It's an unhealthy obsession with spaceships, but yet damage on spaceships, just ripped, and you see individual decks, and you see crackling things, and
little people coming out.
This is Damage Ships the movie. This was Disaster Ship the movie, and
I really like that.
With really good characters. Joe, did you feel like what do you think about the interactions between Spock and Bones? Because it seems like
I think they had the best chemistry in this film. They had the best chemistry.
They focused on those two more in this film than we've ever seen, which is awesome.
It's all about Kirk and whatnot, but it was these two characters which best chemistry, like I said, obviously.
For sure.
Got some total bromance going on.
Yeah. What about the new character, the white chick that you see in that? She's got those sort of
badass.
Yeah, she was really cool.
I love what they did to her makeup and stuff like that.
I saw her in the trailer and I was like,
who is that? She looks so familiar. I had to look it up. She was in Kingsman, the one with the crazy legs, the swords.
Oh, the sword.
I don't remember her.
Kingsman, good.
But what a fantastic actress. She really, with minimal effort, she comes across very genuine. Yeah. And I'm already I kind of want her to be a part of the crew moving forward. That's how great of a character and how endearing she is. She kicks ass. She's a strong female character. She is not ever annoying, because usually when they try to introduce these new, things into Star Trek,
try to shove it in your face.
Yeah, everybody love her, but no, she kind of stays on the side and kind of earns her place amongst the crew.
Different franchise, but I'm glad she didn't end up being like a Jar Jar. and just ruining the movie.
Exactly what I was thinking.
I was thinking that the entire time. I was like, please don't be a Jar Jar.
Don't fuck this up.
Right, because she does have some funny speech, issues as she's learning English because she's learned English from. Well, I won't spoil anything. So yeah, she's fantastic new character.
Yep.
But let's talk a little bit about some of the climaxes of the film. First off, the CGI done in the film, 90% amazing.
There was one.
There was the scene where it just kind of feels pushed into the film. Oh, hey, Kirk is macho and he loves motorcycles, and all of a sudden there's a random motorcycle on this planet that they crash landed. Now there's kind of an explanation for it, but I still don't buy that motorcycle being there.
I don't either.
And it allows this CGI scene of Kirk riding this motorcycle in as sort of a distraction for an action sequence. And the CGI looks so fake.
It was so fake. It looked
the...
fake, and their excuse for having it was so weak. They were just like, sick motorcycle ride.
Yeah,
yeah, dude.
Awesome. And then I really did like this how fun the film was. If they wanted to, there's just music in it. Like she's listening to music, she's having a good time, and Scotty has a lot of scenes with what's the character Jayla, and this new character. And their interactions were really strong. Bones and Spock have the spotlight of the movie, the funniest jokes in the film. And then basically Kirk gets to be the hero and gets to be the badass in the final sequence. But one thing that I didn't like, and this may be just a me and OtherJoe kind of thing, is basically music saves the day here, right? So you're like, yeah! When they're like, we need this music to into battle for a specific reason, so we got to choose the right song. And I was like, oh man, that would be so awesome if they played like heavy metal music. Okay, that's my own personal
that is your
pick, but heavy metal music. But no, it turns out to be what you've seen in the trailer the whole time is Beastie Boys, Sabotage. I don't like the Beastie Boys. I don't like the rap / rock. But you know, Sabotage is one of their better songs. I can say that.
Of course, they play Sabotage.
And it fits so well. So even though I don't like the Beastie
perfect song choice. Not a big fan of
the Beastie Boys. Me and Joe, we change the channel every time they come on the radio. We're just not big fans. But I like the song Sabotage. That's one of their better songs. Come on.
It's the only song I like.
It's a good,
it's taller.
Right. Yeah. Perfect song choice because listen, it's a Sabotage. And then of course it's just blaring and I'm like, okay, fine. So, but I don't know. The choice of that was a little contemporary and maybe we'll date the film a little bit, but I don't know. So I guess, damn man, I don't know if the Beastie Boys signed a big old check or if they just got free promotion.
I have no idea.
But
it was played in the trailer. So
it was cool. So yeah, I really enjoyed the film. And let's. Do you have any other points?
I want to add the fact that the only thing that I felt was like worse than the other two movies is the plot ending and the resolution of the movie.
It was
final, a letdown.
So there was this final climax where we were talking with this, you get the Beastie Boys in it, but you know, right when you think it's resolved, it kind of keeps going. And I was like, all right, we're gonna see, kind of Kirk. It was gonna go mano y mano,
but you just never get that satisfying resolution. Like in the second movie, Into Darkness, was that the second movie? Into Darkness, where he's fighting Khan on top of like a ship that's in the earth across the water, and he's like beating his ass, and they're having that like mano y mano fight. You want like a climax like that, and this film just kind of
it's the one thing, even though it's Idris Elba and you get to see Idris Elba in it and he's obviously a badass, it's the one thing in the film that it needed a little bit more depth and reason and explanation and a little bit more focus on that part to make that final battle a little more interesting. It's not that the final battle sucks.
It's not terrible.
It's interesting to look at, just like pretty much the entire film is. So it needed a little bit of more impact towards the end.
Appetizers, what it was.
But I highly recommend you go out and see Star Trek Beyond. I think you'll have a fucking fucking awesome time. We had a person with us who had never seen Star Trek before, not the old ones, not the new ones, and this was their starting off point, and they loved it.
It was good.
Yeah, they loved it. So go out and see Star Trek Beyond in the theaters. And here, let's
One of the
talk
better
a little.
movies out right now. So
Yeah,
it's
so a blockbuster, right? It was a good
yeah.
blockbuster when others are becoming busts, like Ghostbusters, right?
Oh, don't get me
Spend
started.
your money on Star Trek Beyond instead of
Yes.
Ghostbusters, okay? There's a perfect recommendation for you guys. But, I do want to talk a little meta here. I feel like I really hope this film does well. But it feels like it's going to make the less money out of all three of them.
think it is,
yeah.
And
The
trailer, the marketing, I don't know if they're doing a good job there.
No,
really.
the marketing
And it
kinda
sucks
sucks,
because
yeah.
Simon Pegg, who is acting as Montgomery Scotty here, Montgomery Scott. There's a reason why I said that, and you'll see it in the film. But he's such a good writer. He
Yes.
understands Star Trek and his writing partner obviously as well. And I can't wait to see more. Instead of being like, this one film sucks and I don't want to see any more. No, this is a good starting point for finally getting what you and me want, which is strange new world.
Space
You
exploration.
stay on that fucking ship.
Stay on the ship.
And you go and do badass stuff and explore,
It's gonna
okay?
happen.
And we got the there's a Star Trek television series coming out. It's in dry dock right now, about to release. So
true.
that we're looking forward to that as well, because obviously I'm a huge Star Trek nerd. I am a Trekkie.
A little bit.
I'm a huge
You
Trekkie.
guys are Trekkie. I've seen a couple episodes.
I have to twitch Joe's arms to get involved in anything Star
Yeah,
Trek.
he told me about the
At
movie
first,
today.
he
I
refused.
completely
He's doing it to screw with me. We have board games, and I want to play it. He's like, I'm not gonna play Star Trek, but I'll play Trek of the Stars. He has to rename it so you feel better. But you're just messing around with me. You have to admit that's good stuff.
It is good stuff.
It was, no.
I'm gonna get Joe, and I've gotten Joe to watch some previous episodes of Star Trek Voyager.
Oh, yeah,
because he
Voyager,
kind of looks like the second in command. All right, well, anyway, guys, let's go to final verdicts, and we'll start OJ.
Let's start with OJ.
I'm going to give this an 8 out of 10.
That's pretty
I
high
really
for
like
Joe
it.
that doesn't like Star Trek.
Right off the bat, right off the bat, we had like fast-paced action
Yeah.
and comedy. I was like, oh my god.
It was good.
Entertaining all the way through. 8 out of 10.
Yeah, 100% from start to finish.
Yeah.
I was engaged.
Oh,
no.
That's okay. We like differing opinions here.
I'm giving it a 7. A really strong 7.
Strong 7.
Because I thought it was worse than the second and first movie, and I thought the first movie was really fucking.
Damage report.
7, 7 out of 10. 7 out of 10. But
Why did it lose those 3 points?
I got
Dex 3, 2, and 1 have been taken out.
I have to be specific.
The villain.
Bad guy. Really not great. Well, not as good as it could have been. Resolution.
Yeah.
And not enough space explosion.
Gotcha. Oh, that worked.
Space explosion.
Okay,
There we go.
I understand. Okay,
Yeah.
security teams to those decks. We'll get those fixed for the next film. My final verdict for this film is a very solid high 8 out of 10. I recommend you go out and see it in theaters right now. See this and not Ghostbusters, okay? Or we're no longer friends. All right? Okay, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you on the next Angry Joe Show.
This is the end of the line.